Today's afternoon, we're gonna be wearing on the Honda EX VTEC version. Today we're gonna change the fuel filter, and then the only tools you're gonna need is 3 tools and 1 part. Pretty much I'm gonna show you over here. So the only 3 tools you're gonna need is a 14mm wrench, then 10mm socket. Of course, you need your wrench. You need a 17. There you go. So of course the 17 is going to be on the top. 10 is going to be that little bolt over there. Their side over there. Then your 14 is going to be that one at the bottom. Before we get started taking off that filter, we also want to take off the negative terminal. So just in case if you're using a wrench and you accidentally touch the positive, it's going to create a spark. And you don't want a spark going around fuel. And there's always going to be pressure in the fuel tank. So get rid of that pressure. All we got to do is, of course, open the gas tank. You're probably going to hear a little fuel pressure come out. There we go. It's releasing all the fuel pressure. So just in case, if all that pressure is pushing all the fuel back, you're going to get a lot of fuel in the engine bay. And nobody wants that. So I want to mention, always use rags. Always. You're always gonna get fuel everywhere. So before you start taking out sockets, taking out bolts, nuts, always have be prepared. And always have your fire extinguisher with you. You might never know. I can't even put this rag down there, but you get the idea. But there we go. And just be careful with these because I don't know why. These are really fragile. You can always strip them up. You go that one. That one, you're always gonna strip it up, so just be careful taking them on. Be gentle, just a light little love touch, and you'll probably get through it. But I'll show you guys in a minute. I forgot to mention, depending on the battery too, there's always a 13 socket millimeter or a 10. In this case, it's gonna be a 10. Remember I said about taking off the battery, you don't want any spark. The only one you gotta take off is just negative. You don't want current flowing through. And there, we already got it off. Just put it aside and make sure it ain't touching back on there. Now you got no spark coming through. Maybe, because I got an amplifier. So just to make the job easier, you can always take off your intake just to have that extra room instead of this being in the way. This case on. Case. So plug some hoses here. Some wiring. Since mine is a manual, I only have 2 ports. Well, actually I have 3 ports, but I T-connected it. From there, just take out that one. And the intake. There we go. We got extra room to play with. Big thing in the way. The same thing. So 17, 14, and the 10 back there. So just to know about taking off this one, it's not going to be that way. It's going to be the opposite way. So kind of this part has to screw on to that part. So pretty much going to turn it that way. See how fuel's coming out a little bit? Just be careful with that. Here we go. Come out a little bit. But you get the idea. And I'm going to show you the top in a bit. We finally got the top one loose, but then you can see all the fuel dripping as soon as we open this one up. So here we go. This one's gonna come out. So pretty much, I don't know if you see that washer. Make sure you remember where that goes, because the new box, the new part, comes with the new ones. So just remember where it goes. So I'm gonna take that one out. Look, there's gonna be another one at the bottom. So always gotta remember. And these. Of course, I forgot to put the rag. There we go. So now it's dripping on that. So let's get the washers out. And now we just got one more to go, which is that 10mm. For that 10mm, of course, that's all you need. Just to get in there like that. That's what I'm saying, you don't want to touch the wrench, not the wrench, the ratchet with the positive. And that causes a spark, Gas fumes are really strong. That's all pretty much you gotta do. You can see it turning on the other side. Pretty much don't need the ratchet anymore. It's already had tighter. it just comes out already. There we go. Don't lose that bolt. That fuel filter should come out easily. There we go. Oop, there goes fuel. Put that right there. Still got my little bolt on it. So make sure you don't lose that bolt. Make sure you don't lose your 10 millimeters too. There we go. You can see inside. I can't really see in there. But this should be like the original. I can't really tell. It usually says Honda on it. And then China. So FF. So yeah, this has been changed. It's like a aftermarket part. And I'm gonna show you guys a new one. And what else came with the part? Just the 2 washers, the ones I was talking about over here. Those 2 little ones. Now I got the new ones. I'm not too sure where that little one goes to, but I'm gonna just put the fuel filter just like that, without it. So the way you want to put this back on, not put the new part on, pretty much you're gonna put it through like that, of course. Then this little thing's gonna sit on here. And I don't know if you see the lip, so it's gonna match up with the lip on the fuel filter. Just kind of snug it on there. The other thing ain't going anywhere. Here we go. Sometimes you just wanna be careful with this bowl when you put it back. Here we go. It's going in smoothly a little bit. So I'm just gonna maneuver when that piece is done tightening. And now you have this piece to put on. But before we do this one, gotta put the bracket. So when we put the bracket, just gonna put this little piece through. Then it should wrap around, hug around so it actually hugs it. Just doing this one hand carry. Just like that. This thing doesn't want to hold it. There we go. So now you have room to put that 10 millimeter through that little hole over there. We're gonna do that right now. Like everything else, you want to hand tighten it. Got my 10 millimeter. Gonna put it through the socket like that. And we're just gonna find our way through the hole. Don't want to drop this. A little difficult. Here we go. I think I got it in over there. So you actually start seeing it coming out. See that? Sometimes my wrist gets tired off doing this. Alright, now I'm good. I'll skip this part. I noticed right here, so I already got the washer in, but I'm gonna stick this bolt in. I already put the washer on top. So I'm thinking while we're putting it through, like tightening it in, it flushes with landing on the bottom. So we're gonna do that right now. I'll let you guys know how it ends up, because look, it's already in there. So I think, matter of fact, might as well do it right now. Get y'all 17 millimeter. Sure it's tightening too. And we're just gonna see how it goes right here. Yeah, it's kind of going down a little bit. So my palm angle out. There we go. So it fits snug. You don't want to over tighten it, just, you know, till I feel like right there is good. Right there. We gotta tighten the bottom too. I already tightened the 10 millimeter. Now I got that last piece over there. All right, I'm already pretty much done tightening everything. The 17, the 10, then the 14 actually. 14. And we're gonna turn on the car. Not turn on the car, but we're gonna let the fuel pump run a bit. Connect everything back. See how it goes. Make sure we don't have any leaks, because you don't want a fire happening in mid-drive. To get fuel pressure again. We're gonna put everything back just so we can have pressure come through the filter. And we're gonna put the intake back. And we're just gonna run the whole car instead, or better, just to have the, you know, the pump running. All right, let's get to it. Pretty much we got everything connected. Now we're gonna run the car. We're gonna come back over here, make sure we don't got any leaks. Ready? See what I mean? 218,000 miles. All Ready? As long as it runs, right? Make sure we don't get any drip. In this case, we don't. Car's a little warmed up, so I have to give it a little gas. Make sure it's running good. This case is running actually better because the other one sounded like it'll bog out as soon as like gas it. It's a little wet, but that's because when we first took it out. In this case, we don't even have a leak. All right, and that's how you pretty much do a fuel filter. You like.